Hello, job seekers. Melanie here with CGL Recruiting. Have you done all this work in order to find a great career, a great profession and job? You've gone to school, you've done all this other work, and now you can't find a job in your profession where you live. Well, how do you know if maybe the grass is greener somewhere else? Is there a different location that you can move to where there might be more jobs? Or even if you're not ready to move there yet, but where you can start targeting your job search? The answer is yes. This data is out there for you and it is free. And I'm going to show you how to access it. Now, if you haven't subscribed yet, please take a moment and do that now. It really helps our channel, as do likes and comments and shares with other job seekers. Don't forget to ring that bell for notifications, as it really does help our channel, because then it's going to tag you in every video we release, which will tell you when there's something else out there that you might want to watch. Okay, let's talk through what this data is. It is very well known by HR people, not so much by others. And this is the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And they are the government agency in the US that gathers tons of employment and employment outlook data. And when you first go to their site, it is overwhelming, the amount of data. But there is really great information if you can weed through some of it. And I'm going to show you specifically one area where it'll help you see what locations are hiring for which job. Okay, let me share my screen so you can take a look at this now and see this information. Oh, let me make that a little bit bigger. Here we go. Okay, so you will see when you go to the website, it's bls.gov. But in this case, I want you to go further. I want you to go bls.gov/oes/home/HTM. Now, when you go there, it's going to bring you to the Occupational Employment and Wage Statistics homepage. Now, even out here, there is so much data, it will drive you crazy. So let me show you where you're going to want to go for this. On this left-hand side of the screen, and I'm going to even take myself out for a minute so you can see this larger. On this left-hand side of the screen where it says Browse OES Data, you're going to want to go down to OEWS Data. And now you're not going to want to look by occupational profile. Go down to where it says National and click on that. Now, when you go out and click on that, it's going to pull up the occupations for across the entire US. Now, when you go out here, don't go to the different subsections. That's not where you want to go. Where you want to go is here where it says all occupations. It is much easier to sort and look this way so you know where stuff is. So once you click on all occupations, it's going to bring up this chart. Now, still, this is not usually in a way that you can know where job title is what. You have to sort it. So go to the part over here where you see occupational title, and there's two little arrows here that are kind of hidden. Let me zoom in on this again so you can see this a little bit better. Over here, occupational title, click on these arrows, and you're going to see it's going to put it in alphabetical order. And the first one that you see on this list here is accountants and auditors. And this is the one that we're going to actually take a look at today. Now, it's in alphabetical, so you can go down and look for other things. You may need to look not at your exact job title, but kind of an industry job title that is close. Like you may be learning and development manager, but it may be tagged under training managers. So if you don't see your job right out, the gate, don't panic. Just try and think, okay, well, what else in the industry is my job called? A lot of times you can also find that by going to some of your professional associations and see, what is the main title that they tend to call your specific role. Okay, now let's take a look a little bit more at what this data actually says. I'm going to go ahead and click on the data in accountants and auditors. And again, I'm going to take myself out of this so you can see this a little bit closer. Now, there is going to be tons of data here. It's going to show you actually how many people are working in the role, what their wages are and such. But the other thing it's going to show you is definitely industry, what kind of industries hire these positions the most. It's also going to show you top paying industries for this job title, but keep going down. This is the geographic profile, and you'll notice each state is separate. Now, if there is no data for a state, it will be blank. So if you get your information up and the state just looks white on some of them, it means they don't either have enough data reporting in for that state for that position, or there's just not enough of that role in that state. So what you're looking for is the most amount of data. The more data you have, the better your chances of getting a real picture. So let's look further at this again. And remember, this is going to be slightly adjusted based on the number of people in that state too. Okay, so if we look at, this is the states with the highest employment level in accountants and auditors. So when you look at this first number, this is going to give you the number of people employed in those states. Then the next figure is going to give you the employment per 1,000 jobs. So even though California may have more of these people in this, you're also going to see New York says that if you're looking employment per 1,000 jobs, it's actually a higher number. So it is something that you do want to look at both factors as you're doing it. But imagine if you are living in a state, let's take one like West Virginia. You can see West Virginia is very low here. You may want to be looking at other states, maybe Ohio, Pennsylvania, Virginia, ones that are around West Virginia that are going to have a higher number of positions that are available. Now, you can look at this information and data lots of other different ways and even go in all the way to look at cities within those states. Now, it's not every single city because there are going to be some cities that are too small and are not going to have data available. But you are going to see, for example, how they do it here in metropolitan areas. And it's going to give you the ones that have the highest. Now, let's take, for example, let's say that you are in Texas, where I am, and you live in Houston or you live in Dallas, and you can't find a job in your area. Well, if you look on this, it tells you positions, locations in Texas. Perhaps you should be looking at one more than another. So it definitely has good data, not only by the state, but also by the metropolitan area. And here's also going to give you ones with the highest concentration of jobs. Look at this, Parkersburg, West Virginia. Okay, so I hope you can see how this information and this data can help you with your job search. Now remember, the world has changed and more companies are open to hiring somebody in a different location and hiring those remote workers. So if you see a state that has more, this data that's reporting is generally been reporting based on the company and the position and where it is headquartered. So I do want to make sure that you do look at this information to see, am I looking at this state, and I could be looking at these 3 states that have a higher number of accountant roles. And even if you're not willing to relocate, maybe they'll allow you to do that job remote, or allow you to do that job only coming in, 1 week out of the quarter or something. This data out there is incredibly powerful. Do not get overwhelmed. I know it's a lot. Take it one chunk at a time, and it can help you target and focus your job search and the next step on your career. If you have questions on this, please put comments down below. Unfortunately, this is something that is only US specific. I don't have a similar site that's the same as this that I can go to country. But if you're targeting to come into the US for jobs, or if you're here in the US, it is a great way to find what location is going to value you the most in the profession and career that you have. All right, everyone. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.